All right, welcome back. So something slightly different from me this week. I thought I'd just do a quick review of an all grain kit I've got from the Malt Miller. It's more of a recipe kit really that you can just order online. If you look on the Malt Miller website, there's a whole bunch of recipes on there. You just click on one, order it up, you get pre-weighed bags of grain, the right amount of hops that you need, a packet of yeast, and that's pretty much it. So it's a good way of kind of buying enough grain and hops for a particular brew without having extra left over. You sort of end up with annoying amounts of small bits of this and small bits of that. So you can order everything up, it all comes in one pack. Works out pretty economical. I can't remember exactly how much it is. Well, it was dead cheap. It was like something like 13 or 14 quid for to make this batch of beer. It obviously takes a bit longer to make all grain batches and use a bit more energy on the stove top because you're boiling, large quantities of liquid. But yeah, I think the results kind of speak for themselves. I don't do a huge amount of all grain brewing. I do enjoy it. I've recently upgraded my kit, so I bought a new 35 litre stainless steel kettle from the Malt Miller. It's got all the thermometer built in, nice ball valve tap, all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, with sort of view to doing a bit more when I get the time, but predominantly brew sort of extract brews with unhopped extract because I find it sort of fits in with the amount of time I have spare. But working from home a lot more now, I get a bit more time to do this kind of thing, so I can kind of get it on, do other things, and then come back to it. So yeah, I think I brewed this, I don't know, maybe about 2 or 3 months ago. So it's had a lot of time conditioning. I just thought it'd be a bit of fun really to see how it compares with the actual commercial version of it. So this is the Tribute Pale Ale. It's a Cornish Pale Ale. Zesty and fresh, easy drinking, as it says on the label. It's about 4 point something. It's brewed down in Cornwall, and it is a kind of Cornish pale ale. It's really nice beer. It's one I particularly like to drink. It's a nice sessionable sort of ale. Typical sort of English pale ale, sort of Fuggles, Golding and Celia hops in it. So it's got a nice kind of hoppy aroma to it, but it's not like, it's not in your face type hoppy. It's just nice, well balanced beer. So I don't claim to be a all grain expert, and somebody might brew this kit a lot better than I did. So this is really just basing it on kind of the result of my brewing method. I live in Kent in the UK. Water's particularly hard. I haven't really done anything to adjust my water quality other than to add a Camden tablet to deal with the chlorine. So it's as it is. I think the water's generally pretty good for brewing anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. And all my other all grain stuff that I've done, brewing a bag type stuff, has turned out okay. So for the fun of it, let's see how it turns out. So let's open the commercial version first. These are both coming from just standing outside in the garden. It's about 12 degrees today, so not massively cold, but they're both exactly the same temperature. Yeah, served exactly the same. So let's give this one a pour. It's a lovely light golden colour, nice frothy white head on the top, beautiful. Okay, let's try one. Right, well, in terms of looks, I would say that is spot on. You could not tell the difference between those two beers. They are exactly the same colour. I'd say I've done pretty well with the carbonation. I didn't want to carbonate it too much. I think it was only about half a teaspoon of sugar in mine. I didn't want it too fizzy, and I think that the carbonation looks pretty good as well. Mine's maybe slightly more carbonated, but not too much. I'd say they were pretty similar. So on looks, I'd say spot on. So let's have a look at how they smell. Yeah, it smells nice and hoppy. Mine's got that, but maybe not quite so pronounced. I'd say sort of on a scale, if this was 10, mine would be a 9. It's not far behind it. It's probably something to do with the lack of water adjustment, I would imagine. But the actual smell of the hops, identical. So pretty pleased with that so far. Looks and aroma, I would say pretty much spot on. Right, let's go in for the test. It's delicious. The malt bill for this is pretty straightforward. It's pale ale malt, mostly pale ale malt, about sort of 3/4 I think, and the rest is Munich. So it's pale ale malt and Munich, so it's a little bit biscuity, but very pleasant. Okay, so slight difference in taste. So this one, strangely, tastes a bit more grainy. Picking up that nice rounded biscuity malt on that one. But to be fair, one's not far off. I'd say this was just a touch smoother. Mine's a little bit more, got a bit of a rougher edge to it, I would say, but it's homebrew. So, you know, what do I expect? But it's not too far off. This is, you can taste this is commercial quality, but only because I'm comparing it against that and I've got it in the glass can I tell that there's a difference. This is still a really good beer on its own. Very nice indeed. So yeah, pretty pleased with that. I mean, judging it against this, I would say that it was kind of 80–90% there against the original, but you know, for my brewing skill, I'd say that that was a success, and I'm pretty pleased with the result. For the price, 13 or 14 quid, not bad. The other thing is I chose the standard yeast for this, which was, I think, Malt Miller's, their own brand, NBS, I think it's called. Dried yeast packet. You do have the option to upgrade the yeast to a different one. So the yeast might be making the difference in this. So I suspect that's probably what it is. And maybe I could do with some water adjustment, but you know, I'm not displeased with it. So yeah, it's a good one, and I would recommend going to check out the Malt Miller recipes. There's some really good ones on there. If you fancy having a go at all grain, then just have a go. It's not that difficult. Just get a pot big enough and have a mess about and have a try. You'll be surprised what results you can get, because you know, it's definitely, the results are definitely better than extract brewing. Although, you know, as I say, it's a bit more involved, but the results are pretty damn good for that extra time. So yeah, it's a good one. Anyway, cheers guys.